Hello and welcome to the Kindred Essence Tarot and my latest reading on your next steps. What is it? So this is sort of like asking, this reading is about what is your next steps in life from wherever point that you are at currently. What's next for you? Your next steps in life. All right, so take a tune into the three piles. Pile number one, the red flashlight pile. Pile number two, the purple flashlight pile. And pile number three, the green flashlight pile. And tune into what pile feels the most resonant with you in terms of your next steps in life. What are they? And then let's get started. Let's see what each pile has to say. All right, pile number one, your next steps in life. What are they? Or yeah, what's next for you? Basically, like it's about what's next for you, or your next steps. Okay, so pile number one, the red flashlight pile. Let's see what we've got. We've got pile number, and I've got these nudity. I call them my nudity covers because YouTube doesn't have, or YouTube doesn't like that, right? So some of the stickers or some of the cards have nudity, so I'm just going to cover them with these just to make the YouTube gods happy. All right, so pile number one. Now, what is next for you? And let's see what we have. We've got the Seven of Pentacles. We've got the Three of Pentacles right here. The Three of Pentacles. Make sure that they're in the. Okay, let's see what we've got. The Knight of Pentacles. Interesting, lots of pentacles. So something about physical solidity or something grounded in the, and then Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords and the Ten of Pentacles. Interesting, the Ten of Pentacles. And I'm using a new deck. I bought this the other day, the Witch's Tarot. So let's see, what do we get with this? So with the red flashlight, that's about physical security. And so if we're going to take this as going in temporal order, it's sort of like you've been waiting for something to draw into your life and you've moved forward. And in some cases, you've gotten what you want, or it's not what you wanted. It's not exactly what you wanted, or it's or you got it. It wasn't what you wanted, or you got something. You were diverted to some other avenue, but it's never. What I'm getting is that it's never felt right. It's never. It's about, you thought that having that security would create something better for you or create something solid in your life, and it didn't. Wasn't exactly what you wanted. So what I'm hearing is that, or it was, but it wasn't quite exactly what you expected, and it didn't create the sort of happiness perhaps, or the full level of happiness that you expected. So what I'm hearing is that to move forward, the next steps for you is, so your next steps, what are they? Is to with the Queen of Swords here, it's like you want to gain a lot of clarity about what happened before you move forward. So I see that with the Ten of Pentacles. There's lots of pentacles, right? As you can see, this pentacle, 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 and the only other than pentacle card is a Queen of Swords. So I'm drawn to that card in the sense of it's very much about, maybe there's something you missed, or not exactly missed, but you weren't clear, or I'm hearing that it could be in reverse. The Queen of Swords is that there was something emotional missing from this experience. I'm hearing two different threads here. I'm hearing that in some cases you need to get the Queen of Swords upright energy, which is being very, very clear about what transpired, and basically being clear about it, about perhaps in some cases, I'm not saying all cases, but there wasn't the security or that you thought, or it like the security, like we all want to seek out security, but there was something emotional missing from it, what you want to create. So I'm hearing that with the Queen of Swords, in some cases you want to double down on, this is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that in some cases you want to double down of the Queen of Swords energy in order to clarify what you've created thus far and change it. But in some cases, that what you need to do is to sort of get to build something entirely different, perhaps on top of it, and in some cases totally something different, because the security that you wanted didn't create the emotional fulfillment that you were expected from the security, if that makes any sense. So it's like, and I'm hearing that you can have security with the Ten of Pentacles, because that's the ultimate of like wealth, family, whatever it is you want. But it's sort of like, it's sort of, I keep on seeing the Queen of Swords saying, like, I was very logical about everything, but what is it that it's missing? And I'm hearing in some cases that what you've created is absolutely, it's absolutely fine, if you will. And it's just I'm hearing that in some cases, this is what I'm hearing that in some cases you want to get rid of, not get rid of you've created, but create something totally on top of it. But I'm hearing in other cases what you've created, the sort of the bedrock of security, is absolutely fine. But with the Queen of Swords, I see it in some cases it's actually in reverse, which means that it's sort of about going into emotions instead. There's some sort of emotional element that I'm hearing in some cases that you can just, you've got that. I'm hearing for some you have the security, but you just need to access a certain emotional element that will make your life totally complete, and everything else is good. And that missing sort of emotional element that you need to have, I'm hearing. You need to have that missing emotional element. And I'm hearing that for each person that for which that is the case, that you need to find out what that is within yourself. And it's only a journey that you can go on alone. If you, not alone, but it's sort of like a piece that you have to find yourself, that will make everything else in your surroundings complete. Because I hear for some that you have the potential to, or you already have a sense of security, or you're very close to creating everything you want with a completion. But it's sort of like there's something emotionally missing that's something that's other to do with than like security. It's like an opposite energy that needs to be brought into whatever situation you find. And I'm hearing that for some, it's just an emotional mindset that will create everything perfectly, just by shifting something within yourself that will make everything complete, emotionally complete. So it's sort of like an emotional energy that you can put into your surroundings to make them complete, if that makes sense. But I'm hearing for other cases, in the cases that the structure is imperfect, and the goal is to find the perfect completion, the perfect structure. It's sort of like, I'm hearing for some you can build on top of what's already there, but for some it's sort of like the whole structure needs to be completely renewed. And I'm hearing that she has enough wisdom to figure out how to do that. And I'm hearing in some cases you feel that, if you have to destroy the structure that's already there, that it will take a long time. But I'm hearing it won't take a long time like it did before, because if you've already learned, you already have the ability to create that structure quickly and get to the Ten of Pentacles quickly, because you already have this wise know-how. So I'm hearing in some cases your next steps are to really go into the emotional, the mental clarity to move forward. In other cases, it's the emotional clarity. And I'm hearing that you'll know, or you should know, which one it is. Going into the emotions that will help you shift you quickly to the Ten of Pentacles. In other cases, it's going on the mental energy will help you create that clarity, because you want to get to the Ten of Pentacles. And I'm hearing that sense of security, that sense of safety, that sense of sort of physical completion. I'm hearing also you need to know that there's nothing wrong with wanting that. There's nothing wrong with wanting security. There's nothing wrong with wanting security. And because I'm hearing that there can be a lot of sort of negativity towards your own emotions, anger towards your own emotions even, and feeling like, oh, why don't I have more hope? But I'm hearing that beating yourself up is perhaps the worst thing that you can do. But you do need to sort of almost, create an energy of clarity, the Queen of Swords, or emotional, clarity and cleansing, if you will. And relying on that energy will get you to the Ten of Pentacles, and that will be the next step for you. Either imbuing like a emotional clarity, which helps you better the Ten of Pentacles if you already have it. And if you don't already have it, you're close to having this Ten of Pentacles. And that involves just sort of emotional clarity or mental clarity, which will help you quickly get to the Ten of Pentacles. But I'm hearing, do not beat yourself up at all. And be a friend to yourself. I'm hearing throughout this process, be a good friend to yourself. Do not beat yourself up. And I'm hearing what is it? Because your next step I'm hearing is to just a sense of emotional completion. And I'm hearing if you feel that the structure that you've created has been decimated, do not feel sad or that it will take you very, because I'm hearing it won't be, even if you feel that your sense of security and safety in the world has been recently decimated, or maybe you've never had it. I'm hearing that it will be very easy. I'm pulling out this card. It says everything is fine. Everything is actually fine. Even that I'm hearing, even all the negative emotions that you feel is fine. And the faster that you don't beat yourself up and feel that the negative, even painful emotions that you feel are fine with this everything is fine card, the faster you'll get to the Ten of Pentacles. And I'm hearing also your next step is to fully be clear about what that looks like for you. I'm hearing just visualize, because there's almost like I'm hearing for some, there's a lack of mental clarity. And I've got the Queen of Pentacles here too, because you want to have that sense of security. But I'm hearing that be very clear. Do not beat yourself up for your emotions. And then also be very clear about what you want. And as I'm hearing, once you mix the emotions, like I'm hearing for some, mixing your emotions, your mental clarity with your emotional clarity. When you mix these three elements together, this physical clarity, this emotional clarity, the sword energy. So emotional, it sort of involves mixing the pentacle energy, which is the earth energy, the mental energy, and the water energy. When you mix that together and visualize, intend to bring those elements together as you visualize what you want, you will create it so much faster. And I'm hearing that the current energies are on side with you. You are able to create what you want very, very quickly is what I hear. I hear that you're able to create that energy very, very quickly. And that's the next step, is to bring it into physical fruition. No matter how you recently felt so destroyed, like nothing will come together. You almost have a sense of forlornness in some cases. If you're one of the people who pulled the pile that feel that sense of forlornness, know that you just got to bring those elements, the emotional, mental, physical, and ground those elements, like almost engaging those elements with the sort of the energetic realm of this reality. And so I'm asking you to sort of get sort of esoteric, if you will. You bring those elements together and just know how to, just ask that you know how to do that, and you will see. I'm hearing that a lot of you pick the pile, you have very strong third eye vision. You can visualize things well, and I'm hearing take advantage of that, because the whole goal is to have that Ten of Pentacles, and you will be able to bring that into reality just by emotionally visualizing it, and clarity, great clarity. And I'm hearing, yeah, with great clarity comes responsibility, but it's also something you're very much able to handle. And I hear that you will snap. Your next step is to snap out of the hanged one, or the hanged man. Well, in this case it's a woman for this particular deck, but when you will snap out of it, and you will know everything will click into place like a Lego piece. So I'm hearing that yeah, all the pieces will snap together with like a Lego pieces, and you will know, you will feel a sense of completion. So if you don't have that, you put them all together, the emotions, you will be able to create that Ten of Pentacle, that energy in your life. And if everything is together, if you snap your emotions together by going into them, you'll be able to see your life anew. And your next step is to create your life anew just by accessing those emotions, right? Getting out of the logic and accessing emotions. And that's in the case where everything is together, but you just can't feel that it is. But once you feel that it is, everything in your life will make sense, if that makes any sense. All right, so that's pile number 1. Now we've got pile number 2 so your next step in life. What are there? Your next steps. How to move forward in this life from the whatever time period you're at right now. It's a timeless reading. So let's see what we've got here. We've got 10 of Cups, the King of Pentacles. We've got, oh, interesting, and the 4 of Swords. Interesting. So we've got, you're the badass being full of life, love, and possibilities. For this deck, may you find a path to your best self. So I'm feeling that. Okay, this is the purple pile 2. I'm going to see if I can get some more. Okay. So I'm brought to the King of Pentacles, and there's a sense of almost shakiness and not knowing. Okay, what I'm hearing is that you don't know what part of your life or other people's life is a facade. There's a sense of, what I'm getting is that you don't know what is real and what isn't real, if that makes any sense. And it's sort of like with other, there's a sense of not true knowing who people are, or who's really being on the up and up and who isn't. So all this sort of trust issues is coming up, and it's almost like you feel like once you know what is really going on and who's really right and who isn't, you feel like you have a sense of security, and there's a sense of extreme worry about that. There's a sense of extreme worry about almost yourself too, like, oh, how do I know what I have is real? How do I know if it isn't? And the Queen of Swords. So I'm seeing that it's almost like you have to, I'm hearing that you're almost in this state right now of, with the 4 of Swords, you're stuck in this emotional state of just almost not knowing what is real and what isn't, or what is, who in your life should be part of it and who shouldn't. And you feel that once that kind of, that people element is together, that you'll feel safe and complete. And I'm hearing that while that could be true in some senses, there's also a part of, so I'm hearing that your next step is to find a part of you that is sort of separate from other people, their expectations, their energies, their machinations, right? And just like to figure out what that is, and to figure out, to move forward in a way of like sort of apart what people, your next step is almost to find a part that's, to start a journey and grounding it to the physical realm. So we've got the King of Pentacles at first, so we went to the Page of Pentacles. So it's sort of like not starting from the beginning, but starting something. Your next step is to start something that is true to yourself and apart from other people. Because I hear that you can almost have an energy of being very much affected by people's expectations and their sort of not their perceptions of you, but sort of their expectations, and what like just also what is other people doing? What are other people doing? And how does that relate to you? And how does it make you secure? How does it relate to other people? And how does it make you secure? But I'm hearing that there's the time where your next step is to go on a spiritual journey, sort of with the hanged man, right? The hanged man is about going on a spiritual journey. Finally, going on a spiritual journey that's sort of apart from other people. And once, it's almost like when you do that, you'll be able to come back with a new spiritual element, right? Because the purple flashlight's a very spiritual color. Looks like it's burnt out, this flashlight right now. But it's sort of like you'll be able to return in a different way and almost see the people in your life in a different perspective. So it's giving me the vibe of almost getting away from people if that's possible, but that's not always possible, and that's not always, the best course of action. But it's sort of like, yeah, like sort of getting away from people and carving out your own boundaries away from people, and then returning with something different. So that's your next step. It's sort of to extricate yourself from your energy from other people, see how you relate to other people, and creating something all your own that almost people can't take away from, or that can't be impinged upon on other people's energy, can't be invaded by other people's energy, can't be sort of maligned or sultered or whatever, I don't know if that's a word, by other people's energy. So that's what you want to do. You want to find your own energy apart from that. You want to find that energy, and I hear just have the intention, and you'll know how to do that. All right, and yeah, so that's what we've got for pile number 2. I hope you enjoyed that. And now it is time for pile number 3. Let's see what pile number 3 has to say for your next steps. What are they? Let's see what that has to say. Okay, oop, bump the camera here. So this is the green flashlight pile. So your next step, what are they? All right, let's see what we've got. And I've got my nudity stickers in the wake, just in case, because YouTube doesn't. So let's see what we have. Okay, 9 of Wands, the Sun. Okay, no, the Sun, 9 of Wands, the Sun. We've got the 8 of Pentacles, and I got the Sun is kind of towards the end, so I'll put that there. And then let's see what else do we have. We got the 6 of Wands in reverse, 8 of Pentacles, and the Ace of Cups. So I'm hearing for this is that the next step for you is to have a very healing emotional perspective that will create a 180-degree change in another direction. Let me move this up right here so you can see all the cards. So what I'm hearing is the ultimate is to get to the Sun and the Ace of Cups in combined, and it's sort of like you want to I'm hearing you want to get to this place as soon as possible, and then I hear that you most certainly can. It sounds cliche, but it's almost like you just have to believe in yourself. And almost what I'm hearing too is that it's sort of like, this is very much an emotional, I'm hearing that you very much are caught up in doing with the 8 of Pentacles and the 9 of Wands. There's almost like a defensiveness of, am I creating enough? Am I having enough? We've got the 6 of Wands in reverse, which is about victory. It's almost like you're very, and there's nothing wrong with being goal-oriented. There's nothing wrong with being about, creating victory in your life. But I hear that you want to put that on the back burner for a second and really focus on your emotional perspective, because because basically with the Six of Wands in reverse and then the Nine of Wands, it's sort of almost like you feel there's a sense of being defensiveness. And the more I hear that in terms of in the back of your mind is you really want to move forward and have your victory, whatever that is. But then it's sort of like there's this defensiveness, and it's almost like when you feel defensive, you work harder, and it's sort of like you're stuck in this loop. And basically, instead of, I'm hearing that your next step is to find a sort of a perspective where your value is not based on what you do. And I'm not saying I absolutely commend you for having goals and wanting to create and move forward in your life, but it's sort of like the next step for you is having a new healing perspective where the emotions, and it sounds very like a strange, well, maybe it doesn't sound like a strange thing to say, but the emotions are the most important thing. And I keep on saying the Ace of Cups of the Sun is recognizing that your value is not about, your next step is to really, your value is not what you will, with not to do with what you accomplish or how much you stay the course. Although staying the course is good and working hard is good. I'm not saying at all to abandon that aspect of yourself, but I'm hearing about, it's like this 180 perspective that you realize that, and I'm brought to the example of cats. Anyone who watches this channel knows that I'm a big fan of cats, and my cat joins on various occasions to poke in and see how I'm doing with my tarot cards. She's not, I think she's sleeping right now, but basically it's like your perspective is to realize that your happiness and emotions are the most important thing, more than accomplishments, is what I'm hearing. More than accomplishments, your happiness is the most important thing. And let's see, it's sort of like I'm hearing that there's definitely a new perspective that needs to happen with the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man, which in this case is a hanged woman. But it's sort of like you want to go at it in a way that you're not so afraid. And I've got the Five of Swords here. It's sort of like it's almost like I hear a lot of you are running away from a sense of defeat. Somehow it's been imbued in you, like maybe most likely from early childhood, but you have to accomplish to be valid. You have to accomplish to be valid. And I'm hearing that you need to have a perspective shift, or you could have a perspective shift, where you hear that accomplishment, the whole point of accomplishment is to create happiness, not the other way around. Not like the whole point of accomplishment is to create a sense of happiness, and when you look at it, that's the most important thing. And it's almost like you're so afraid. I hear just a lot of fear of not being accomplished, not being, maybe not, I keep on hearing not living up to your parents' expectations. And I'm hearing that you need to completely almost rewire yourself from some stuff that you learned in your childhood of just being always feeling that you have to meet this particular expectation, or it's almost this all or nothing, right? We've got the Six of Swords, the Five of Swords. It's sort of like, if I don't accomplish something, I'm a complete failure. If I don't accomplish it, there's almost this black and white thinking for some of you, so there's very much a healing. It needs to happen to your mindset, and it's sort of like you can go about this in different ways. I'm hearing that. I'm hearing for some you could be like, okay, if I fail at something, what's the worst if I never ever accomplish what I want to? What is, like, seeing yourself, doing sort of almost a visualization of seeing that I am still worthy even if I never accomplish anything. But I'm hearing you don't have to worry, because having this new perspective will actually help you accomplish even more. So you don't have to worry about becoming lax and not accomplishing what you want, because you most certainly will. In fact, I'm hearing that having this perspective change is sort of disengaging from sort of your upbringing of just accomplishment was very, very important, right? And I'm hearing just from disengaging from the sort of negative voices. So your next step is to disengage these negative voices that you hear in your head. And the ironic thing I'm hearing is that the more you'll accomplish, once you do that, you'll actually accomplish, I'm hearing 80% more, 40 to 8, no, 80% more. But it will come with a new emotional tone to it. That's what I'm hearing. A new emotional tone of worthiness. It's almost like a sense of enjoyment. Because I'm hearing that, and I'm hearing accept what is dying too, in terms of your old self. I'm hearing your old self is dying and accept that. And there's almost a sense that you feel that, okay, I'm hearing that you feel like you're busting out of your cocoon, but it's sort of, you may already seem like to some people that you've busted out of your cocoon, but it's like I'm hearing that you're busting out of more of a cocoon that maybe not everybody sees, is what I'm hearing. But it's accepting what is dying and changing. It's sort of like changing inner demons inside of you that not many people are aware of, is what I'm hearing. Is that you're changing those, and I'm hearing that also ask for another way with sincerity, almost like asking for these internal demons to be taken away from you will help you reevaluate your priorities and move forward. And I'm hearing you'll accomplish so much more if you can. And I think I'm hearing that most of you already know the mental mindsets that you need to shift. You already know that, but you just have to go with it. I'm hearing for a lot of you, you're on the right track. And even if other people don't think that you are, or family members or whatever, don't think you're on the right track, know that you're on the right track. And move forward, because I'm hearing you were taught at an early age, a lot of you, to sort of doubt yourself, to sort of doubt that your intuition, it's almost like, it almost makes me feel of, parents who are like, the only option is to be a doctor or a lawyer. And if you're not any of those things, you're not valid, and you may as well not even exist. That's the kind of energy that I'm getting from this pile. It's sort of like that kind of energy of, if you don't do things this certain way, then you may as well just throw in the towel and just nothing was worth it. Nothing's worth it. Like, it's just sort of this black and white thinking that you're resolving. So I'm hearing that you've already been probed to sort of, not probed, but like sort of, yeah, like to sort of release his mindset. And once you do, you will when you cut, and you need to cut your cords to certain mindsets and way of being. That's your next step, right? You're cutting your mind, your spirit from certain ways of doing things, finding your own worth, just as you are. And I hear that your emotional happiness and fulfillment, that's the most important thing to focus. Sorry about that. My camera almost fell over, but yeah, so that's the most important thing to focus on. And I'm hearing when you do that, you will accomplish so much more. I keep on hearing 80% more. And in avenues that you may not have even thought of, or avenues that maybe people have tried to limit you from. I see you almost becoming a superhuman, almost, in a different way than you were kind of boxed into. But it's like, once you burst out of this box, I hear you almost accomplishing 80% more and being superhuman, almost. But not in a way that is detrimental or destructive, but in a way that is truly healthy, if that makes any sense. Alright, so that's all we've got for all the piles of your next steps. What is it? And I hope you enjoyed that reading, and I hope that you have a terrific day. Bye-bye.